and then I'll start sharing again. Okay, thank you, Lord. This is so much better. So those of you that are in 100X, I'm sure you've heard Pedro Adeo talk about the fact that challenges are forgiving. And boy, can I say he's right about that. Challenges are forgiving. So when you get ready to do your first challenge, just know that they are forgiving. And I experienced that yesterday, trying to make everything work, but I think we got it happening today. So today, the objective for today, we're going to do a walkthrough tour of the book, just to give you, those of you, some of you have already read the entire book. You're already working through the worksheets. You're already doing the thing, which is really, really awesome. But for those of you that might be watching by replay and you haven't yet had a chance to dive into the book, or you will eventually when you see this, we're going to do a walkthrough tour of what the book is about, kind of a broad stroke, but we're going to pause. So it says walkthrough, but this is actually going to be more like a stroll through the book, because we're going to actually take time to smell the roses and we're going to stop at the different points along the way and talk about those. And I really tonight want to invite your input. I want to hear from you. Those of you that have already started reading, I really want to give you a chance to kind of comment on what you've experienced so far for the benefit of others, and also because faith comes by hearing and hearing comes by hearing yourself. So, and then we're going to actually experience the boardroom. And if you've read, you know what that's about. And it just was really, God really put it on my heart for us to just pause and take 8 minutes today to experience that, to taste it and to see it, and to, yeah, just have an opportunity to meet the board. So that's kind of what today is going to look like. Okay, so are you guys ready to join me on our stroll? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready to stroll? Okay, before we do that, I just want to go ahead and ask you guys that are here with me to just introduce yourselves, if you don't mind, and tell us where you are zooming in from. If you're in the coaching space, I want to introduce, I have a special guest on here for you guys. Let me do that first. Because I'm so excited that she's here, and she may have to jump off at some point. So I want to make sure that I introduce you to her. But this is Jenny Lynn, and let me see if I can. I want to highlight you, spotlight for everyone. I don't know if you can see that. Did it work?
I think so. Hi.
Okay, so this is Jenny Lynn. Oh, no, too many slides. How'd that happen? Go back. And she is in Canada. And she's going to share with us a little bit later on. Sorry, you guys, something happened with my slides here, but she's going to share with us. She is a coach for a business coach, and her expertise is in technology. I'll let her use more eloquent language to explain that when we get to that point. But yeah, I want you guys to meet her, get to know her, and she and I are doing a joint venture collaboration. I call it a kingdom collaboration because we are expanding the kingdom, and two are better than one. So I feel like we can run together and do that much better together. And really tap into the gifts and the talents and the abilities that God has given her to help streamline your business, help you get from that point A to that point B as quickly as possible. So Jenny Lynn, if you just want to start off by introducing yourself, and then I'll let everybody else do that. And then when we get to invest and market, that's where I'm going to have you jump in and share, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me here with you, Violis. It's just such a pleasure and a joy to be here. And so I am Jenny Lynn Allen, and I'm a Kingdom Life and online business mentor and coach and digital marketing consultant. So I'll just share a little bit about me. So I actually went through the whole process of getting my certification with coaching. And what I love about, the book that Viola has written is that it really does give you that straight path to working with paying clients. Because I learned the long, hard way how to get to that point. But the thing about it, as I was trying to figure out how to work with paying clients, I was playing around with a lot of the tech. and that is actually something that I enjoy doing. So what I do spend a lot of my time doing now is really helping coaches who have a hard time with trying to navigate the tech and just to really relieve some of the stress of it by actually offering done with you and for you tech services in terms of specifically like landing pages and sale page design, just helping you simplify, the tech that you need to get you working with paying clients sooner. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm looking forward to meet and to hearing all about everyone else.
Wonderful. That was awesome. Thank you, Jenny Lynn. Karen, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, yep, I'm unmuted. I am Karen Marie, and I love Viola, and I love this book. It is so straight shooting, and time condensing. And just like Jenny Lynn said, you go through all these different trainings and you do all these different things, and then you have to pull the gold nuggets out and kind of sort through and adjust it to your market and what you do. And you've put it all together. You've like taken all the gold out, but you've gotten a lot of your own gold. So it's a combination of the best that's out there, like the best in education. It's like best practice. It's what the best that's out there right now, current, and then you adding your goal to it. And I think that this is going to take your people, your coaches that you're launching. It's going to rocket them. It's just going to take them exponentially into where they need to go. So I'm super honored to be a part of this project, and I'm going to be jumping off now because my challenge is starting in a couple minutes. But I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity and just say that I love you and I love this book, and I'm super excited for what's going to happen next.
Thank you so much, Karen. Karen is an educational coach, and if you ever have or know of any children that have been labeled they can't read or they can't learn, this is your go-to woman right here. She will defy every known odd to man. What's your
My catchphrase? Finding the genius in your child.
Yes, and you have a slogan that's, I can't call it right now, but there's no impossible. It has the word impossible in there.
Yeah, there's all things are possible education.
There you go. All things are possible education. And when she says it, she means it. So if you ever run into anybody that's like in tears over their kids not being able to learn, oh my goodness, send them to Karen. All right, enough commercial. I didn't pay her to say that. I didn't even know you were going to come on and say all that, but thanks. That was like an awesome commercial. So thank you, and best wishes to you and your challenge tonight too.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Bye-bye. Okay, Audrey, where are you calling in from? And I know you're driving, so if you can't say hi, we understand. Oh, hi, Janelle's here. Hey, beautiful. Audrey, can you hear us? Okay.
Yes, could you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm in Miami.
I think she's driving and she may be coming in and out. Can you guys hear her or is it just me? Can you guys, you can unmute. We're just a few people, so feel free to unmute.
She said she's in Miami.
Oh, she's in Miami. Okay, well then we should be able to hear each other much better, but if it's not, I can't hear you at all, Audrey. I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear her? No. Okay, we'll come back. I can see that she's trying. She's unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything yet. But
I could,
okay, now
yes, could you hear me? I'm
Now I
speaking through
can.
my Bluetooth on my, yes, I'm in Miami.
wonderful. And are you in the coaching space, Audrey?
Actually, no. Trying to launch a business, but I also think with the nature of my business, it might be an arm I could explore.
Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, and anybody that's even considering becoming an entrepreneur, this is still, I think, going to be super helpful for you. So welcome, welcome. Lauren.
Hello, I'm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I am a certified health coach and a physician assistant, and I haven't fully launched my business yet, but I do have a website, and that's about as far as I've gotten as far as launching, but I'm taking some baby steps and soaking up all Viola's wisdom and loving the book. And I was telling her today that I'm looking forward to buying it next week and just rereading even what I've already read, because it's just so just sincere and yeah, just piercing the truth. I just love how it's like right there. It's all the fluff, no fluff, just like straight talk.
Indeed, indeed. And I think that's God's heart for all of us is, just straight talk. He really, because in the Bible, like Jesus, there were times when he talked in parables and the disciples were like, huh? What are we talking about? Right. But I feel like we're just in this hour where the Lord wants to speak so clearly, with such clarity and make it as simple. I never use the word easy, but as simple as possible. So awesome. Janelle, welcome.
Hello, hello. My name is Janelle. I am a college prep coach and mentor. Also go by the term success coach. And so I help students understand the decisions that they're making around education, career, and college, because those three are blended. I just did my first challenge last week. And so I do have a couple clients and I do motivational speaking as well. I read Coach Vi's book. And like everyone else says, it's no fluff and it gives you all the good stuff. So nice little...
That's a writer downer right there, Janelle. It's no fluff and it gives you the good stuff.
Yeah.
No fluff, all the good stuff. That's good.
Yep, no fluff, gives you all the good stuff. But it's applicable action, right? And so a lot of people in the coaching space give you a lot of action in it that may not be necessary to you, but it gets straight to the point. It tells you what you need to do. It's not her trying to boost her own ego and give you a PhD in how to create funnels and all that other stuff that you don't need. It is, here are the essentials. And I appreciated that.
And I'm so excited to see God give us the essentials. And I just have a vision for those of you that are on here and those of you that are on Facebook watching, and those that are going to watch the replay, that if we lock arms and run together, it's going to be a reality that our businesses are going to be up and running and functioning and profiting and doing the very thing that was in God's heart for them to do before we even got here. So I won't get too fired up on that because I could just harp on that all day. But so I want to stroll with you through the book. I know Janelle and Jenny Lynn and Lauren have already dove in deep into this, and Audrey. I'm not sure. Have you had a chance to read the book yet, Audrey?
Actually, no.
Okay, awesome, awesome. What I would love is if you could message me your email address, I can get you the advanced reader copy and you can take advantage of that. And like I said, even for, entrepreneurs outside of coaching, you're gonna find it really valuable. You're gonna find what we talk about tonight of value, I think, too. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I will just share with you that I had my boardroom meeting this morning, and I debriefed with the board about yesterday and being my very first challenge day. And I, of course, asked them, like, how'd it go? What did you think? Give me the real. And they were very encouraging and said that they really loved the energy and the slides and all the things. But this one thing, they said, we have against you. It wasn't quite like it. They joke with me. We have our own sense of humor together. So, but they were like, we need you to slow down. And we need you to be fully healed from that childhood wound of, I don't want to take up other people's time. And that and so this is something that I'm overcoming in life, where I have a tendency to speak in paraphrases and summaries, not because I have anything to hide. I'm an open book, you guys. I'm so transparent and so authentic and so raw and real. However, there's this thing in the back of my mind, because I grew up with a career woman as an only child, and she was always working, and it was always, shh, I'm working, shh, I'm working. And so subconsciously, I'm really conscientious about not wanting to waste people's time, not wanting to take up people's time. And so I have a tendency to say what I want to say in the shortest, with the fewest amount of words possible. And it's always that thing in my mind of, oh, I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to take up their time. And the Lord said, slow down and unpack these things, because it's my heart for them to hear from me. It's not about you, Viola. It's like, I want them to hear from me, and it's through you. So that's what I'm going to do, you guys. So if I start going really fast, and please interrupt me, please disrupt me, please stop the scroll and just jump in and say, hey, all right. So now that that's out on the table, I'm going to start with the ABCs. And this is the foundation for your business. The accountability really has a lot to do with being accountable, first and foremost, to the board, to the Lord, to God, of course, but then also being accountable to yourself. And that means that the book is going to walk you through a decision-making process. And that's something that I want to, if you haven't already read the book, if you haven't already made a decision about what you are called to and what it is that you want to do, I want to invite you into that process with the Lord of making a decision and then choosing to commit to that decision. Because when the going gets tough, it gets really easy to find reasons to back down and back out and shrink back. And Jenny Lynn is a veteran at this. I've gone through the ringer, and we want to give you the gold and help you avert anything that's going to cause you to abort your mission. So that's really, really important. So that whole chapter kind of unpacks that. And I'm going to be asking you, even for homework tonight, to revisit that. If you don't have an absolute definite yes or no, it could be no, and that's totally okay. But it's important to make a decision for yourself about what God wants for you. So that's what that chapter is about. Then the breakthrough chapter, I'm a firm believer that inner healing is an ongoing process that we will be a part of until Jesus returns. But for the purpose of building your business, I wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty of what limiting mindsets and beliefs stand in your way for building specifically, right? And so that's what that chapter is really all about, giving an opportunity to have the Lord, the Holy Spirit, highlight those specific things to you and to do business with him so that you can move forward. And I'm here to support you. I actually am trained in inner healing. And I actually do offer that to my coaching clients as kind of, I take off my coaching hat and I put on my inner healing hat, because sometimes we run into road bumps and roadblocks that are, that impede the person's ability to move forward and do the thing that they know they want to do, but they identify, okay, there's something that's blocking this from happening. And so I enjoy that. I enjoy that. Kind of like Jenny Lynn said, she enjoys the technology. I don't know if you guys caught that, but when she said that, that stood out to me. She said, I enjoy it. I'm like, I love people who enjoy what they do, especially when I don't enjoy doing that thing that they love so much, like laundry, like people that love to clean, like seriously, like enjoy themselves doing it. I love them. They're my people. I'm like, I love that you love this. And I love that I'm going to have a business that's going to allow me to pay you to do this, so I don't have to. So anyway, okay. Clarity. This is the big one. You guys are super young, but so this is only from my generation, but back in the day when I was little, I used to watch this show called Sanford and Son, and this old guy, Fred Sanford, he would always put his hand over his heart. He said, this is the big one, I'm coming, Elizabeth. This is a big one, because here's the thing. First of all, you got to know why you're doing this. This is part of your foundation. If you don't have this solidified in your heart and in your mind, you're building on sinking sand. You're building on shaky ground versus the rock that's solid. Okay, so you got to understand why you're doing this, so that when those storms come, keyword when those storms come, you're not being tossed to and fro all over the place going, and the times we're living in, guys, like it's not even necessary to say this, right? We know, and yet God is breathing life on these businesses and causing us to prosper in a time when it just doesn't even make logical sense that we are getting ready to like blow it up, which excites me because his kingdom is like the upside down kingdom. So I love that. Okay, so getting clear on your why, getting clear on your who. This is something that I find that people struggle with the most, is who is my who is my target audience, who is my my avatar, or whatever language you like to use. And so I want to share two quick things here with you. Let's see if I have my slide. This. So here's my belief about that. If you don't know if you don't know, let me say it this way. You don't know your who until you know you. And I think that the more clarity you have about who you are as a person and who your business is as an entity in and of itself, the clearer, the easier it's going to be for you to get your head around who your who is. And that doesn't mean that that's the only way to get there, but I'm really passionate about you in the process of building your business, and the Lord will take care of this, I promise. He has transformation built into this process just for you to further make clear your identity in Him, your business identity, your life purpose, your life message, your calling, your destiny, all that I believe is built into this process that He's inviting you into to build this business. So there's that. I'm going to share this quick clip. Some of you might know Dr. Val. She's part of 100X, big part of like one of the prayer team leaders. And we had a conversation. She lives here in the 305 with me. And we happened to get together at Denny's. And this is what happened.
Something for a year, 100X family, I've been trying to drill down to my niche. sitting here having a very healthy milkshake, Vi just wrapped off my who. And I was taking notes, writing so fast. Thank God I knew shorthand. I used to teach shorthand. But for a year, I've been trying to get to this niche and couldn't get beyond myself as a minister, thinking I'm supposed to be doing my work in the church. And so in this hour and a half or two that we spent together, I now have my who, and it is drilled down to the niche. So all I can tell you guys, watch out, I'm ready. Thank you, bye, I love you.
I love you too, and we just give the Holy Spirit all the praise, honor, and glory. And I'm just excited for Dr. Val because she is getting ready to crush it. She is getting ready to crush it, you guys. So watch out for this lady right here. So that happened, and you guys, that's my jam right there. I love like just getting in that space with the Holy Spirit and helping people get clear about that and seeing them get that breakthrough and moving forward. And so however I can support you in that, it's all everything about this book and this movement of God is about moving you forward and in the most expedited way possible. So that's a little bit about that. So let's see, we're going back to my little, okay. So that's clarity on your why, your who, and then the what and the when and the how just starts to make itself known, right? And through the boardroom meetings, the clarity comes. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because we're actually going to jump into a boardroom meeting today. But one of the things that I love about the boardroom meeting is the clarity that you walk away with and how you guys, like when the Lord starts downloading the stuff, have you noticed? For those of you that have done it, like he actually gives it to you in prioritized order. You like just alphabetized everything and prioritized everything for me. So I don't even have to do that. Like, I don't know. But when you see my notes, it's just like, okay, do this, this, this. And it comes out like even in order. And it's like clear. And it's like, this is the only thing I want you to focus on today, you know, because he gives us our daily bread and it's just so good. Oh, it's like hot bread out of the oven with butter all over. It's just yummy. Oh my goodness. Okay. So those are the pieces of the foundation, and the idea here visually is like building a foundation for your rocket to rest on, to sit on as you prepare to launch, right? And you guys, the rocket, that thing is massive, it's heavy. Building a business can at times feel like that too. So that foundation has to be solid. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys. How are we doing, you guys? I'm just talk. We're good? Okay, please feel free to stop me. I'm gonna have Jenny Lynn jump in right in between the I and the M. So the chapter on invest, and these chapters now, like that's your foundation, and I definitely recommend doing those in order, ABC. However, the rest of these keys can kind of stand on their own. They're kind of standalones, although there is a method to the madness, how they go in the form of the word impetus. The Lord gave this to me, so it is what it is. But investing, ladies, let me just say, and I said this in the book, I have invested a pretty penny in building this business, and I know Jenny Lynn can probably say the same, and chances are you guys have already started to invest your dollars as well, and I applaud you for that, because you really are your number one best asset. And Pedro Deo of 100X, who is a financial advisor, like in the top 1% of his field, says that the best investment you can make financially is into a business. And he's like, real estate would probably be number 2, but definitely into a business. And so we're all in the right place at the right time, but we want to be able to do that with wisdom. We want to be able to do that hearing from the board. And we don't, and my heart is to save you money, by you going through this book. Seriously, like if you can have your business up and running and be getting your first high ticket clients within 12 weeks or less, and you haven't spent more than $2,000-3,000 at best, if that much, then I'm like winning. I'm doing what the thing that God called me to do, you guys. Like seriously, that would be amazing. So the book talks about where to invest, and that's in partnership with the board, because you at the bottom line is you've got to do what they tell you to do. And I think too, the clarity that comes from meeting with them is going to really help you avoid, if you struggle with FOMO, fear of missing out, because I watch people jump on every possible opportunity that comes by for fear of missing out, right? And you can end up spending a lot of money that way. Let me just say it like that. So we want to help you avoid that and let you have laser focus. And I'm a firm believer too in less is more, especially when you're starting out with something like this. Less is more. Okay, marketing. The goal is to reach the people that you love. And as coaches in particular, this I think is, we all have this as entrepreneurs, but coaches got into coaching for the most part because of our love for people and because of our desire to see them transformed. And really what we want more than anything is for our business to be up and running so that we can actually spend time with these people and focus our energy with the people that we love and want to help. And so one solid strategy is worth 1,000 tactics. And that's where Jenny Lynn comes in. When I saw her copy and her website and the technology that she used that reached out to me like a hand reaching through the screen, it just reached out and grabbed me and pulled me in, like literally. And it was so on point and so well done and so high quality that I was like, oh my God, who is this lady? So without further ado, Jenny Lynn, this would be a great place for you to just, excuse me, unpack for us. Just expound on like what it is that can do for us.
Yes, Viola, thank you. So thank you so much. It's great to hear that was the impact that you had while reading the copy. You know, one of the best tips that I can give for coaches or anyone who's getting started when it comes to marketing, it actually flows out of what you shared just now, and I really love it. You said, you don't know your who until you know you, right? And that's so important. One of the, if not the main reason why that copy was able to speak to you so powerfully is because that was my story. That was me. I was writing to me, essentially. And you have here on the market, reach and serve those you love. One of the biggest mistakes that I made right after I got my coaching certification, and, you know, I jumped into marketing, well, you know, the website and the posting and doing all the things. And I got a lot of crickets because I missed that big piece that you share right here. It says, reach and serve those you love. That serving piece is so important. So knowing yourself and serving people is how you actually begin to grow in this area, because you're interacting with the people you're called to serve. You're getting to hear from them. And as you serve them and you interact with them, that is another key piece that will help you in your marketing. Because a lot of times, you know, people, you know, would come to me, and, you know, I got started doing websites. And when I was doing that, I realized that people would come to me to build websites. And then it was the industry standard, right? Is you bring everything, you the client bring everything to the designer. Designer just puts it all together to you, designs everything, and you're responsible for the copy. Well, I noticed that almost every single time, clients will struggle with that piece. They were called to give me or whoever the copy, but they just didn't know where to start with that. So oftentimes when someone would come to me for help with like websites or landing pages or something, a lot of times I would say to them, this is not actually where you need to start. Where you need to start is actually going back and spending time serving the people who you're called to serve. Because when you're in that environment, you get to know them better. And then once you know them better, then you can speak to the masses. Then you can speak to them, putting together a website or landing page or something like that. So that would be just one tip that I would share with everyone. It is so important. I've seen a lot of people, myself included, who overlooked this piece. You're not wasting time or energy or effort to do this. It's gonna really pay off for you in the long run. The better you know your audience, the better you know your who, the more impactful and powerful your copy and your messaging and everything like that is going to be. So
beautiful, beautiful. That's awesome. And so, yeah, we're going to get to hear from Jenny Lynn again. I'm going to be doing a second challenge, and that second challenge is going to go deep. That's going to be for people that have already made that decision and heard from the Lord. Yes, I'm supposed to be building a business, and I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to complete this work as far as, getting it up and running. And so Jenny Lynn and I are going to be working together and helping you to execute your plan. And I'm just really excited, Jenny Lynn, that you are willing to help us, to help me. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too.
For myself, because for me, I'll just be honest, this has probably been, I'll be really honest with you guys. I have jumped into a couple of different programs, knowing in my heart that and I had done the groundwork. I had laid my foundation. I'd spent time with my who. I have over 500 coaching hours, you guys. So I know my who, right? So I'm ready to build my rocket and get it on the platform and put the key in the ignition. And I know something's holding me back. And intuitively I know, okay, I need the technology. I need that. And then I get into these other programs and I feel like a squirrel in there, because they're like, well, you need your heart healed, and you need this, and you need that, and you need and it's true. And I need all those things. But now what I really need is X, Y, and Z. I need a V. It's like the difference between, walking from where I live to Aventura Mall, which is like probably 15 miles from where I live. Oh, I can walk, I can ride a bike, I can take the bus, or I can just go get in my car and turn the key and pull out the driveway and just get there, or I could call Uber and spend a lot of money, but I'll still get there. So that's what that part is all about. Okay. And then of course, planning, which is what we're going to do today, by spending a few minutes with the board. And then for those that are in the United States, this chapter on execute has the specific details about what you need to do. Some people are more knowledgeable than others. Some people are coming in like, I don't even know where to begin to set up a business. Some of you have researched it online. You already have that happening. But there's also some heavenly execution that can happen that really establishes your business on earth as it is in heaven. And that piece is also super, super, super important and not to be overlooked. And I think it's a hedge of protection for, it's kind of like your business insurance policy, if you want to think of it that way. And then like we talked about earlier, targeting your audience, your who is it that you're called to serve, and really nailing that down. Because again, I don't think most coaches are serial entrepreneurs that are going to have a business this week and then a different business next month. And yeah, and I love serial entrepreneurs. They're awesome. They have 1,000 ideas while they sleep, and they probably execute at least 100 of them. And that's what they're called to. And it's awesome. Coaches, for the most part, my experience with coaches is not that at all. They feel a calling to maybe one or two who's. Like in my case, my first two is leaders, specifically female millennial leaders. Typically, they have a background in education and or missions. And so there's a specific age group that I really love working with. That's my first who, that's my first love, if I can say it that way. And I absolutely love helping them discover their purpose and their calling and seeing them get traction and take action. But then the Lord gave me the second who, which is you. And that's coaches. And so I'm getting to know you guys a lot more and interacting with you more. And I still have a lot to learn behind that. And I'll use that opportunity to say, even in writing the book, I shared this in day one, and you guys know, like, this was not on my radar. This is all very much a God idea. But I know that it's from the Lord to help you guys get the confidence, courage, and clarity to go forth. So I look forward to just getting to know my new who even more. But I already love serving you, and we're already attracted to each other. So it's really, really good, and it's God. And then it's going to be time to unveil your business and make that thing go public. And here's the thing I want to say about this is, you can actually I did a 2-year coaching certification program, but God put it in my heart at the very beginning of that. I had a vision that this was going to be a business. The people that I got trained with primarily were doing coaching as a ministry. They were already plugged into a missions type organization, and they already kind of had a vision to coach missionaries out in the field, not for pay, but for nonprofit as part of a mission organization. And the Lord made it so crystal clear to me, that's not what you can do, that pro bono and definitely serve, because I'm a former missionary. So I love serving that group. But he said, but for you, I'm calling you into the entrepreneur space, into the marketplace with this. So, yeah, so there comes that moment where, you're building your business. Even if you want to go back and get training, I've gotten testimonies from people that are in different places with getting trained in what they want to, as part of their preparation for coaching. And honestly, I think this can run like 2 trains on parallel tracks, and you can be preparing, and learning, okay, what exactly is it that I need to have in place while you are finishing up your training or your, certification or whatever it is that God has told you to do. And so by the time you get there, you can hit the ground running. And I love that idea, but again, ultimately it's up to whatever he has for you. So there's that. And then it's just time to soar, and that's just the exciting part. And I can't wait to see that come to fruition for you, Janelle, and for you, Audrey, for Jenny Lynn, and for Lauren, who has a toddler. So she's not able to stay on. She let me know that she'd have to jump off, but yeah. So without further ado, let's see. This was my first boardroom meeting agenda, and in the book, I have a template for that, but I really want to invite you to make it your own, make it work for you. But I thought I would just share with you kind of like what happened in my conversation with the Lord that day. And so I love just preparing, and that part's kind of cut off, but I do some, oh no, it's right there, prepare prior to meeting. So I just had some time of worship and praise and thanksgiving that particular day, and it can look different every time. And then I asked the Lord, I kind of quieted myself and I was like, okay, Papa, so who's here? And Audrey, if you haven't read the book yet, this came out of a conversation with a young lady that's an entrepreneur. She's been in business for a while. And I was just sharing with her some of an area in my business where I was feeling challenged. And she said to me, Viola, I'm going to tell you something I've never told anybody before. And she said, I was having my quiet time with the Lord, and the Lord said to me, come into the boardroom. And I broke down in tears because the Lord had spoken those exact words verbatim to me like the previous week, but I dismissed it. I didn't take it seriously. I just thought he was just being nice and trying to comfort me and make me feel better and let me know that he was with me, but he was like serious about it. And you guys, the thing about it is, this is not just, let me read this real quick. I got a testimony from this lady today that read the book. And here's what she said, just so you know, this is bigger than me. This is not just a revelation I got. She said, and she's a seasoned veteran coach, this lady. And she said, I just finished reading your book this morning from the first words to the last. I loved it. It was great. I like the format. I like that it was like a workbook as well as an inspirational book combined. And it's filled with lots of beautiful and amazing quotes, scriptures, and scripture pieces. And she said, I'm going to kind of skip through. She said, the biggest thing that impacted me was the boardroom. And I'll tell you how come. Because I have a business coach that I'm working with. And for the last 3 weeks, she was talking about having a business meeting with the Lord. So she's been sharing that with me, and I've been having business meetings with God, and he's just moving. But with your book, when we did the boardroom, I love that name too. She said, having a boardroom meeting and who is in attendance. I love that too. So she said she got some really amazing downloads as she went through the boardroom meeting. And she said she shared this idea with her coach, and the coach thought that it was so awesome because she also is working on that same process. So she just wanted me to know that God is really in this and on this. And Jenny Lynn, when we first met, she actually, and part of your intake process is having, and I forget how you worded it, but it's really the same thing. What do you call it in your page, Jenny Lynn?
Yeah, it was having a business meeting with God. And I just give it as like a free gift for anyone who signs up with me, because it's just the game changer. It is the game changer. And I really love how you have it set out. And so I'm really looking forward to having a board meeting.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that now. But I mean, I get excited, you guys, when that lady lives in Canada. We've never met in person. She reads the book and connects with the thing. I jump on Jenny Lynn's website and it's, a business meeting with God. I'm like, do you think maybe he's up to something here? Like, that just excites my heart. It just confirms, and it just lets us know, okay, this is a move of God. This really is a movement. It's not just some cute ladies getting together, planning a field trip for school or something, not that that's not important too, but it's a big deal in God's heart is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so without further ado, let me just share he told me to slow down, so I'm going to slow down and jump right into the boardroom meeting. But so in attendance for my first meeting was Papa. I call him Papa affectionately. So, yeah. And the breaker, which you'll read about in the book, Yeshua, who's Jesus to me, Holy Spirit. And then there were angels, and I won't unpack that right now, you guys. I don't know what your theology is around that, but I'm just, and you don't, and it doesn't have to be the same as mine at all. But just suffice to say that they are real, they do exist, and they love to help. I'll just leave it at that. And you can have a conversation with the Lord about that as you move forward with him. And then he gave me the topics, and that particular day, it was, you know what, I need you to, and I'm going to summarize here for the sake of time, but he was like, I need you to be led by the Spirit and not the flesh, building this business. And I need you to stop your striving. So a lot of the money that I had invested, if I'm really honest and transparent, was me trying to do something in my own strength, trying to make something happen, trying to force something to come into, and I was already invested in it. I've already put energy, time, and resource. I'm like, I gotta make this happen. And so a lot of times that's where we end up investing in looking for love in all the wrong places, if I can say it like that. Okay, so that was my first encounter. So what I want to do now, and we're a little bit over, so if you need to check out, I totally invite you to do that. I apologize for that. But if you can stay, and if not, that's totally okay, because I know, Janelle, you already doing the boardroom meeting thing. I don't think you can do this too many times, though. And sometimes you can call an emergency boardroom meeting when it gets serious. So I want to give you like just 8 minutes. Is there one question that's kind of already on your heart or on your mind that you would love to have a conversation with the board on today? Or would you rather just do this in person and share it for homework? What would be better for you guys? Since I just have you and Audrey, I don't know if I got anybody on my Facebook Live right now, but for you to just be candid, because I know it's late and I don't want to keep you really long. Would you rather do this now, or would you rather do it and share in the group? What would be best for you, Audrey?
I'll do it once in private, and I'll be happy to share afterwards.
Okay, that sounds good. How about you, Janelle? Janelle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I put in the chat. I'm fine with that as well.
Okay. So wonderful. So we'll save this for another day. We'll have opportunity to do this, I think, in the future. I'm going to move on. Okay, so let me wrap it up with this. If you would be so kind, thank you for joining the movement. Thank you for letting your voice be heard. Janelle, you were awesome in setting the tone for everybody. I so appreciate you going first. I love leaders. That's why I like work. That's why you guys are my jam, millennial leaders, man. I love you all. You're all about the action. It was so cool when I was doing my little bit of marketing research for the name of the book. And I was asking people, do you like coach minded or kingdom minded, kingdom centered, or kingdom focused? And all my millennials were like, focus, focus. And then all the old folks like me were like, minded. Well, that's really telling, right? But anyway, okay, so yeah, go live in the group. If you haven't already introduced yourself, please do that, and just share one highlight or takeaway from today's session, and then get your boardroom time in, because I want that to become really consistent. Do I do it every single day? No, I don't, but easily 3 or 4 times a week we meet, sometimes more, just depending on where I am. And then there's times when I'm out walking and the Lord's like, hey, We're having a board meeting right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm taking notes in my head, and sometimes I have my phone and I start like, voice typing what he's telling me while I'm walking. So it can happen anywhere. So yeah, do your boardroom meeting. And I would really love it if you would ask them this one question. You can ask them whatever you want, but this one I think is a valid and a relevant question. And that is, how do they want you to move your business forward? What is their next best step for the next right reason for you specifically? And I'm actually going to ask that question too, because I'm right here in this with you. And I wrote the book, you guys, but truly, 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 I'm like one stair step ahead of you. Like I'm just reaching back and saying, hey, let's do this together. So I'm still learning, and I think that's it. Oh, one quick slide, just a heads up, okay? So tomorrow is day 3, and on day 3, I am going to invite you into the next challenge, and it says it's a free 5-day challenge, but I lie, and here's why. Because the Lord spoke to me and said, no, don't make it free. He said, this is what I want. I want integrity. I want to bring integrity back. And what he meant was he wants a commitment from you to purchase the book as admission into the 5-day challenge. And he said, all I'm supposed to ask you for is your word. And so if you, and I want you to pray and ask the Lord if he wants you in the challenge, first of all, and if he says a yes, then just message me, put it in the group word, and I'll know what that means. And that means you agree the book will be published on July 12th, and you just go to Amazon and make that purchase of that copy, and then just write word in our group, and I'll know that that happened. If you want to just like be extra, you can take, once you get your book, you can actually, and this is great social proof that would help a lot, and that's just hold your book up next to your beautiful face and take a selfie and post that so other people can see it and get excited about it, but that's optional. If you're overseas, because I know I've got people in Australia, in South Africa, and in Canada so far, and I'm expecting people to show up from other places because it is Viola Jackson International. It doesn't say that, but that's the name of my business for a reason. Then you can probably like just take a picture of your receipt from Amazon or something and post that if you want to, but that's optional. But the only thing I need is your word. And so, because those of you that choose to join me and continue the journey together as coaches, our what's the word I'm looking for? Our number one principle is authenticity, catalyzing authenticity. Coaching is built on trust relationship. And I want that to be established from day one, that we start to develop and cultivate that trust with one another, because then we're going to be like marvelous comrades running together in this thing with our boots on the ground, and it's just going to be amazing. So, okay, I think that's it. Let me just take a breath and thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. I bless you. I thank God for you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited about what God is inviting you into for your sake, for your family's sake, but also for your sphere of influence as well. And because it really is about them and his heart for them as well. And any questions before we jump out tonight? Okay, Jenny Lynn, thank you so much for being here. I know it was your family night tonight, so thank you for the sacrifice of coming on. And Audrey, I look forward to meeting you. Are you on Facebook, Audrey?
Yes, I am on
Awesome.
Facebook.
Okay, have you found the group, the book launch challenge group yet?
I found the group. I'm not sure which one.
Okay,
I think I saw one with your picture with the book. Yeah.
Okay, If it has my picture in the book, then you're in the right place. That's a good sign. And I will look for you so we can make sure that we,
Okay,
what's your last name, Audrey?
Mark, M-A-R-K.
M-A-R-K. Okay, I will make sure that we get connected as friends in Facebook so we can continue the conversation and I can answer any questions that you might have. And without, I think that wraps it up for tonight. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a short meeting, yay, like 30 minutes. And it's really questions and answers and sharing from your homework, and that's going to wrap it up for this first challenge. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so very much for being here. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the group, and then I will see you, God willing, and I'll post the Zoom link again, same thing that we did tonight. This is so much better, so much better. All right, good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Great job, Viola.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.